Hey guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks, and this is Marsha. We're going to be doing a review for Wife Swap Season 2, Episode 9, I believe. Yes, Episode 9 in Paramount. Like, that's the publisher or whatever for this Wife Swap, because of course Wife Swap has been here longer than Season 2. Like I've been saying in my last reviews, I've been wearing the same dress for all of them, but like I've been saying in my last review, we're changing the format up. I'm gonna be saying this for a couple times until y'all tell me if you like it or not. But what I'm gonna be doing now is watching the episodes, and then when it is on commercial break, doing the reviews. So if you see any choppiness, or if I don't know anything by the end of the like if you watch the episode before me, if I don't know anything later on in the episode, probably because I haven't gotten to that scene yet. So yes, it's going to help me with consistency and be able to produce more videos for y'all. So let me know if you like this format, or if you want me to go back to the way we normally do it, which is the traditional way of just watching the videos or watching the episodes and then making notes and then coming back to y'all. So yeah, we shall get started. Again, this is Wife Swap Season 2, Episode 9. Okay, so we are meeting the different families. We have the Shares and the Peets. And the Shares are the professional wrestlers. And I am so excited because it's like some of my worlds, my TV shows colliding, because I love WWE. Not really into all the aspects of the professional wrestling world, but I do love professional wrestling. And if you guys know, I follow Total Bellas, Total Divas, the actual Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown and Impact, but like got hectic, kind of have to drop some of those things. But it's really interesting to see that we got professional wrestlers on this episode. The professional wrestlers are the Shares. They consist of Tracy, Mike, and their daughter Mina. Mina is the quiet, shy type that comes out of her shell on stage, in the ring. They are Hawaiian and they met in high school. And then the Peets are Candace, Cliff, Madison, Brooke, I'm missing a child, maybe Allison or something like that. And they don't do anything as a family. Cliff goes on his own little world, and then the girls and the mom kind of do stuff together. And I just found it fascinating. I've been noticing this trend that people who go on Wife Swap are usually wives or husbands, usually wives, who have something going on in their own relationship that they don't feel comfortable necessarily bringing up, or if they do bring it up, they're hoping that maybe another person, a third party that's coming into the family dynamic, can kind of help them realize certain situations. So in the last episode with the circus family and the stay-at-home mom, she was hoping that somebody would come in and kind of tell her husband, who does the antique shopping, to stop, and it kind of worked. And then in this episode, we have Cliff and Candace, who kind of drifted apart because Cliff emotionally cheated. I think it's cheating depending on what your spouse or your counterpart defines as cheating. So you can call emotional cheating all you want. Yes, you didn't physically, so you said you didn't physically commit the act of cheating, but clearly your wife deems emotional cheating as cheating, so we can just take out the word emotional and just call it cheating. Like, okay, but that's none of my business. So Candace is hoping that if a third party, the new wife, comes into their dynamic, maybe she can open Cliff's eyes to see that, if you don't switch something up, you can lose this family. And yeah, it's kind of switch up the mundanity. So I just like that everybody, they introduce themselves to each other. Tracy tells the Peets that she's a professional wrestler, and she does. Anywho, so Tracy goes into the Peets household and explains that she's a professional wrestler, and the girls seem pretty interested about it. And then Candace goes into the Shear family, and she is very quiet and awkward. And Mina seems different. Like, she's very quiet, reserved, doesn't seem to really interact with other people outside of her comfort zone. and I tend to be that way too in real life. So I completely understand where she's coming from. When she finally warms up to somebody, then she'll probably talk more. But it's weird having cameras and producers and stuff in your space and in your face. So it makes sense why she's not as interactive as most of the other participants have been. Tracy's not liking the fundamentals. I'm sorry, not Tracy. Candace is not liking the fundamentals of professional wrestling, which is the falling and the selling of the moves. She's not liking the falling at all. But I do agree, when they do hit the ground, it sounds like it hurts. It probably does hurt their back, but that's part of the game, right? Okay, so we are with Tracy within the Pete's family. Yes, and she is finding out the dynamic that they have normally, which is everybody, by everybody I mean the father is to his own. He literally leaves right away in the morning and doesn't really come back later in the day. So she just spends time with the kids and just chilling and playing and interacting with the children without the father being present, even though he's literally in the household. And she goes and talks to him and asks him about the cheating incident and what brought him to that point, to that aspect, and can he reconnect with his family instead of going out there? He says that that would be difficult. And I'm like, literally, your family's right here. How is it difficult for you to connect with your family? Or at least put in effort to connect with your family? That literally just takes a game day, Monopoly, some boards, like pizza night, watching a movie. Like, it's really not that hard to interact with your family. Definitely if you're all in one place, kind of stuck. Like, I'm actually interested to see how the Pete's family is handling this during the quarantine, because they literally can't go nowhere. Like, you're stuck with your family. So maybe this will be a good thing for them, or be the intention or the last straw that is needed for the wife to leave. One or the other can happen. I don't know what happens at the end of the episode. They stay together, but I'm just saying. Maybe this quarantine is a blessing in disguise for them. Meanwhile, Candace is with Mike and Mina, and she is, stepping into Tracy's role. She tries the following thing we did before. She can't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go run because she's not doing that. Everything hurts, and I completely understand. Ain't nobody got time for that. And instead, she wakes up at 6:30 to go back to the gym and get the gym ready for the day by cleaning everything up. And when she's cleaning everything up, it's basically a workout anyways. So she realizes that the person that's really getting the gym together and running, at least the cleaning aspect of the gym, is Tracy. So she thinks that Mike needs less talking and more helping his wife. But these are like minor things, and I think that's easily adjustable, either to get extra help or to have the daughter help and the husband help if they don't want to get a third party to assist with getting the gym up and running. Also, I'd like to note that Tracy was talking to the children, and the children has emphasized that they would love for their father to interact with them, and it's so sad to see like how much they crave that attention, and he's acting like it's such a difficult thing to provide his kids. Okay, so during the last couple of days of the getting the wife to follow the original wife's routine, Candace learns a couple wrestling moves, or crash course into pro wrestling, and I thought that was really interesting. She's, of course, seems awkward and stiff at first and uncomfortable, but you see by the end of it, she kind of enjoyed herself. Definitely when definitely when Mike, the Tracy's husband, says, pretend that this is your husband, anything he's ever done wrong, just hammer at him, and she finally got and picked up the pace by that point. So it was really cute seeing her yell. It was like, what? It was pretty cute. So yeah, and she is saying how she can't wait for the change of rules, but again, I think she really enjoyed the wrestling part, and at least, letting her frustrations go. So we'll see how it goes for the change. Okay, so for the swap, the wives' rules seem fairly short and very like it makes sense for the situation. Appropriate. It seems very appropriate. So for Tracy, she wants Cliff to spend more quality time with the girls, thus taking away his video games and actually putting more effort and intentionality with spending time with his family, and also to rewrite their vows. Come to find out, they never had vows to begin with. They went to the courthouse and just did a quick ceremony and got married, which I found really interesting because the oldest child looked so surprised, like, huh? Like, she didn't even know, like, their parents, like, love story. And I find that a little sad because even though my parents are divorced, I knew what their love story was. And her parents were still together and she didn't even know that. But yeah. And then Candace, for Mike and Mina, wants less time from the gym, so spending time away from the gym, and for Mike to realize how much work that Tracy actually puts in to the household and to the gym. So she tells for the automatically Mike screws that rule and decides to go to the gym early morning like it's regular routine, which of course sets Candace off because she was saying that for the most part, I've literally followed all of your rules. Everything you want me to do, I have done. And so instead, I think I think it kind of backfired for her because she was high key belittling him when he did finally come back home so that he can start cleaning up the house and doing stuff like that. Because yes, he doesn't know where the cleaning supplies are, which is a little weird to me. You should know where the cleaning supplies are. But she was dictating to him what to do and when to do it and to how quickly to do it. Like, he didn't do that for you or to you. We've seen in other episodes when the husband literally would belittle the new wife on how quickly the cleaning should be done, like what level, like if it's subpar or not, and he didn't do any of that to you. So I don't think it's fair necessarily for you to tell him how quickly he's supposed to clean the kitchen, if he's doing it well enough, or if he can take breaks or not. Like, that's not fair. So that was a little weird. And again, when we went back to Cliff and them, they're having dinner together. They're eating the pizza that they created together, and it's having some of that quality time that Tracy wanted them to have. And one of the children, I think her name was Callie, she asked her father if he enjoys spending more time with his friends than with them. Like, if he likes his friends more than he likes his family, which is a little sad to even ask. But Cliff said, like, to me, maybe it was just the way the editing was, but Cliff was, like, taking forever to answer that question. I was like, you're not going to answer? Like, it should be a quick, no, I don't, I think these are two different things. I don't like one more than the other. Like, I don't like spending more time with my friends than I do with you guys. And he basically said that finally. And it reiterated that he chose to spend more time with his family, with his friends, and that's he currently regrets that decision, which is great, but it took a little too long, in my opinion, for you to actually say that. And Tracy also kind of agrees with me in that he isn't putting enough effort in, and to see how that might not be enough to save his family. But yeah. That breaks my heart. Brooke, the youngest child, this child 5, says that she likes the new rules because we get to have more time with him, as in the father, and have fun. And I'm like, bro, you're 5. You're supposed to be having these type of emotions and experiences automatically because you're still in your cute phase, you know? You haven't reached the ugly duckling phase. Yeah, you can get away with a lot because you're still cute. Like, you're 5. You shouldn't be able to feel like, oh my gosh, oh yay, we can finally hang out with dad. Like, you're supposed to be feeling like, oh, I always hang out with dad. After the girls are interacting with their father, doing the quality time, doing the things that the girls like to do, which is like the dance battle and the art, they also do what the father likes to do, which is the basketball playing. You can see them really bonding more, which is really sweet to see. And we finally get to a point where he is writing the vows for his wife. We don't really get to see that yet, but it's really interesting to see that he's putting in the effort to kind of woo his wife back again, because the wife does want this relationship to work. And then we get back to the shares with the wrestling and how we find out that Mike had a concussion and it really bounced him back, and that's why he still has some anger issues. And Tracy was the one that really stuck by him and helped him through it. And yes, they're still going through certain things, but Tracy was really there to help him in the valley. So to show his things, Candace suggests that he kind of brings him out on a date night, do some dancing, do something to show her that that he appreciates her and that he still is interested in her and her thoughts and her as a person. So I thought that was really nice. Okay, by now y'all should realize that I'm a crybaby. So we get to the end of the episode where the couples meet and discuss their initial reactions of their lives and what's going to be happening for that week, right? So when they get to the end aspect, they're talking about, oh, this is my first reaction, this is my initial impression. What really hit me was the vow that Cliff wrote to Candace, and it's noticing, finally hitting him that he does need to spend time with his family and his kids, definitely because they're growing up and they could grow up so fast before you even know it. And I loved how for Tracy and Mike, they, Mike liked that he could still be able to reach his wife and impact her and give her happy memories with the idea of dancing. The one that I didn't like is that when we do like the little summary at the end, it says that Mike didn't do nothing. Like, they're still working at the gym together, they're still moving as a family unit, but they haven't really done any date nights and stuff like that. I think that kind of sucks, because that is one thing you guys could have implemented just as y'all as a couple. And yes, your child, you guys do a lot of stuff as a family unit, but just doing something as a couple would be nice too. But I really love the fact that the fact that really needed more between the two was the Pete family, and the fact that Cliff, is it Cliff? Yes, the fact that Cliff and Candace renewed their vows, and hopefully the relationship is great. So I kind of wish that Wives Swap kind of gave us a reboot of what happens now with these couples, just to see how their lives changed, or if they even changed or evolved after having the wife swap experience. But hopefully they do that season finale. That'll be kind of cool, but I doubt it. But that's the episode. It was really great. The Cliff and Candace, the Pete family, really needed this show to kind of show them that, yo, these are areas that could be worked on. But yeah, that is my reaction and my review to Wives Swap Season 2, Episode 9. I will see you guys on Sunday for a review of Charmed. Bye!